What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Frill Shocker, the 96 Hedgehog here with our first ever draft analysis for the Minors League in give me a second, in the Master Cups Minor League. We are here, and I'm actually kind of excited. You know, it's a new league and everything like that. Excuse me. And we're kind of doing what seems like low tier, which is kind of a weird way we're doing it, though. But you'll understand it once I start explaining. So, in this, first off, if you guys are excited for this draft analysis, hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. Join the Fresh Shocker crew today because you'd be feeling with the king of the crew. I think we came out with a pretty good team here. I think we got some really good mons. A lot of these mons I have never used, so really excited. And so overturning favorites. Oh, excuse me. So basically, let's go over this league. Like I said, it's a low tier league. However, there's a few little weird things on here. Any potential trapping moves from Gothitelle and Dugtrio or Branson or Shadow Tag or Arena Trap makes a lot of sense. Blaziken, which makes a lot of sense. But here's where the rules get weird. You see, we have Spectrier on this team as a spoiler. That's our first pick, but there's things also like last year that was allowed, which is argued if it can be in low tier or not. If not, it would be a very high tiered, low value mod. And then you have Pokemon like Spectrier, and let's just say this as well. So Spectrier can be allowed in the league, except it can't use Calm Mind and it can't use Nasty Plot. Doesn't give it enough reason to be a low tier, in my opinion, but alright. There is no weather setters. You cannot manually set up, you cannot automatically set up weather. So snow warning is banned, drizzle is banned, drought is banned, Sandstream is banned. Basically, Pokemon that have those abilities cannot run those. They have to manually set up rain, hail, etc., etc. Which makes Pokemon. Excuse me. Which makes Pokemon like a little Ninetales in this format garbage and not worth a tier 1 pick. In that type of sense. Also, sorry for the thing there. My phone's just weird. But yeah, so really weird on the tiering. There's a lot of tier mons that are also really weird and I don't understand why they're in there. But it is what it is. We were in the number 6 pick, and before I get into, there's also a Z rule. We are allowing Z moves in this league, which I don't know how I feel about, but it just depends if I have the same effect again where I forget about Z moves or a thing. Yeah, sorry if I yawn so many times, guys. It's getting close to midnight for me, and I just had a really long work day, so it's gonna be one of those times. But um, we get one Z captain that is only offensive, so it can basically use any physical or special Z move offensive killers. It cannot be a Z Rain Dance or Z Sunny Day, which would increase speed. However, our tier 5 is any Z we want. Our tier 5 can be offensive or setup in that type of regard. So a lot of things to figure out, and I will say this tier 5 was absolute garbage. There was maybe like a few, and I literally mean a few that were good in tier 5. But we'll get into this. But like I said, I got 6 pick. It was actually out of 16 coaches, and to my surprise, as I already had spoiled, we got Spectrier number 1 pick here. Pegasus here. There could be some debate on that. I probably shouldn't have taken this thing, but it's allowed in low tier. I'm actually very surprised it lasted to the 6th pick. Some people, I won't lie, did make some meme picks, picking tier 4s or tier 5s as their first overall pick. So to be fair, I got lucky. That this was given to me basically. The reason why I want a Spectre, even though yes, there is no access to setup, which is one of the things that makes Spectre a little deadly. A lot of people forget it doesn't need setup to be deadly. It's got access to Life Orb, Spell Tag, Expert Belt, even because of the boost some of the bunches of moves. It has Life Orb sets, Choice Spec sets, Choice Scarf sets. There's even like the barriers to run with Colbur, Cassiv, or something like that that can also really help. And generally speaking, I think Spectre can be really, really good still. I think Spectre is going to be an amazing Pokemon for us. I know I've used this thing twice and then dropped it twice, but I think this is the league where we use Spectre, and I think Spectre is going to be that mon that we can use this season to really, really get us going. Oh, excuse me. To get us going into this season. So, looking at my second pick, I had to think to myself, okay, I want to grab some things I don't have any experience with, things I want to things I can pair off well. And this might have been taken early, but I think this was the perfect round to grab it, and I'm actually very, very excited because I get to finally try the bird I've been wanting to try, and that is Shadows the Galarian Articuno. Galarian Articuno has been one of the three birds I've also been really looking forward to try, and I haven't gotten a good chance to use it. But being low tier, I felt like this was the perfect opportunity. Now, as it states, I would definitely say regular Zapdos, regular Moltres, regular Articuno. That's how I'd rank them competitively. As of right now, I think regardless of how I use this thing, Galarian Zapdos is going to be the best competitively. What's going to determine for me, in my book, is what is second best. Is it going to be Moltres or Articuno? I have won a championship with Galar Moltres, but Galar Moltres didn't do too much in that league. Same thing in the other league, it didn't get to do too much for us because of, how matches were played and everything. But I want to give Articuno a try. I've been wanting to try this thing for so long. You guys have like no idea how long I've been waiting to try this Pokemon. So I am super excited to try this one finally and be able to try it out and everything. So I think what's really good about Galarian Articuno, as if we guys haven't said already, it's got access to recover, so star power sets are really cool. It is the only one of the three birds to get recover. I think the option of going for Calm Mind offensive sets is really good. It gets access to rock coverage, so it's actually really good against fairy types, which is pretty good. I also don't know why my computer's doing this. Dual stabs really, really nice. It's got limitations there. It's got U-turn for pivoting, which is really good. It gives me a Trick Room on as well, which can not really work that well for our team, but you never know. We can make something work. It doesn't get access to Shadow Ball, so it doesn't get covers to hit them. Tailwind for providing speed control. It doesn't have the greatest move pull, but when you're Psychic Flying and having just your Dual Stab hits a lot of things. The only thing that Psychic Flying doesn't really hit at all is just Steel typing, which we get some good answers to. And yeah, I feel like Galarian Arcanine was really good. It did make me have a massive dark and ghost weakness on this team, which I think we have patched up decently well. So just gotta be careful. And plus, there's chances I may not even bring both of them to the matchup, so ghost weaknesses could, and depending on the ghost and fire type, ghost and dark types, they're not that much of a problem. But going to pick three, I had to grab a mon that had extreme value and absolute steal in the tier was, and that was Scream the Exploud. This thing was tier 3. Tier 3 in the low tier league. This thing should have been tier 2, even potentially tier 1. Excuse me. And the reason why? Boom Burst spam. If your name is not Stack Attacka, you will more than likely have a good chance of being 2 KO'd by Boom Burst if you are Rock or if you're just a Steel type. This Pokemon literally has no switch-ins in the game, and for Tier 3 it was an absolute steal, and I'm really excited that I got it this round because I think I sniped at least like 2 to 4 people on Exploud, which was definitely great that I picked it up this round because I would not have been happy if this thing got sniped for me because this was my main normal type I wanted to go with. For one, to patch up that ghost weakness, and plus with having Scrappy, I can hit against opposing ghost types, which is really good. And I just generally think Exploud is just that Pokemon that we could run Specs and Scarf almost every single week. Oh, excuse me, and just claim KOs and stuff like that. And then we have used Xcloud in the past. You guys have seen me use it. I'm actually a pretty decently good user of Xcloud, so definitely looking forward to trying Xcloud again and having some fun with him again this season. With my fourth pick, decided to pick up a Dark type, and I actually picked up Zoroark. Now Zoroark it's a cool pick. Don't get me wrong. I think we had Zoroark on my championship team for WWC, and he was able to become there and become a champion and everything like that. But we didn't really use Zoroark all that much. We only used it for like 2 to 3 games, I think, maybe 4. and then only got 1 or 2 kills. It didn't do a lot for us. But on this team, I feel like it does kind of force a lot of prep, then being careful and being the trickster that good old Zorwork is. So definitely something to note with that. Overall, I think Zorwork's a really good mod. It's got really good offensive capabilities with its special attack. Able to go for potential calm mind strats, nasty plot sets, even agility setting, which can be also really good for it. I just generally think there's some good coverage. It gets access to fire coverage. It gets access to psychic coverage, ghost coverage, dark coverage. Does it learn Thunderbolts? It does not learn Thunderbolts, unfortunately. Wait. Oh, I was gonna wait. Why does TH give you flamethrower? That makes total sense. It's also got some pretty good physical coverage. If it's normal coverage, it also gets access to fighting coverage and focus blast, grass knot for grass, and U-turn pivoting, which is really good. Trick, which is also phenomenally well. It's a relatively fast taunter as well. This Pokemon is really, really, really good, and I think it's gonna be one of those Pokemon I think a lot of people are gonna sleep on, and really just not focus on. And for our Z captain, I just actually decided to go with Zorg as our offensive Z because for one, it does spoil off, which I am going to be as the imposter and stuff like that. But if I can get a KO for free against anything on my opponent's side of the field, that would be phenomenal, and especially if it's that one that can cripple down my opponent. So definitely something good in there, and I'm hoping Houdini has better luck with us this time than he did last time. Going into my 5th pick, I wanted to get myself something that was going to be able to help me with hazards. I wanted to get something that was a water type, and I was looking and thinking, you know what, this 2 1-punch combo for what I wanted next was going to be really good. And with that being said, our 5th pick is going to be none other than Squidward. I had to do it. We're going with Tentacruel. I've never used Tentacruel at all, really, and I mean, I have in my first ever league, but that league only died after like 2 or 3 weeks, and I never got a chance to play a game ever again in that league. Which I Tentacruel on there. Otherwise, I've never used Tentacruel. I don't know why, but Tentacruel has just been that one that I kind of just don't somewhat care about. But ultimately, I thought Tentacruel in a low tier format, I feel it was really good. I saw how Platinum Howard used it effectively well in his APA run, and ultimately, I felt like this team really needed a beneficiary of something that can click, toxic spikes, something that can click rapid spin to remove hazards, a mon that can play physical, a mon that can play special. This is just an overall, I feel like a really, really good pick that I think just balances out over time. And generally speaking, I think it's going to be one of those mons I think is going to put a decent amount of work in. I will run the max speed sets. I will run overall base 100 speed if I have to. But going to my 6th pick, I scooped up the man, the myth, the legend, Now, I grabbed Overdrive for the fact that it is by far one of my top 10 favorite Gen 4 Pokemon. And I was actually going to pair this off with. Excuse me. And, yeah, I wanted to pair this off. What else? Oh, I wanted to get Torterra, but, I don't remember who sniped it from me, but someone sniped it from me. I was literally going to have Torterra and freaking Electivire. I was gonna be Paul from the anime, man. But anyways, what I've always admired about Electivire is the fact that it's got mixed opportunities to go for special moves and physical moves. But what's super great about Electivire is have the electric immunity, which is really good to kind of get the motor drive going. Pun intended, because it is motor drive. But also Vital Spirit's kind of one of those moves as well, is that if you run Rest with Vital Spirit, you can heal up. So I think that's a Pokemon that is really worth the potential chances to keep around. And just look at the coverage, man. Like, look at this. It gets access to Darkest, Lariat, Cross Chop. It gets access to Earthquake, Fire Punch, Ice Punch, Iron Tail. Like, there's so much Rock Slide. Even access to Teleport, which I actually didn't even notice I could do that. So it's got Pivoting, which is really good besides Volt Switching. Just generally speaking, this Pokemon just does so much for our team, and I'm super, super, super excited to try Electivire after it's been a Pokemon that I've been trying to use for years. Going into our 7th pick, I needed a grass type. I feel like having that ground immunity would have been really good for my team. And what else do I get a grass type for if I can get an extra part benefit to it? That's where Diddy Kong comes in. Diddy Kong is a Pokemon that I think is going to provide really good utility. We obviously named the Thwacky Diddy Kong because, Diddy Kong plays the drums after Rillaboom does. But since he's not bigger than Rillaboom, it could be Sushi if you guys want Sushi to be the driver or anything like that. So let me know. But otherwise, we can be the other. Ugh, oh god, I'm spacing here, guys. Sorry. But what I like about Flacky is that priority and Grassy Glide, which is also really good. And like Grassy Surge to prevent the ground type spam and everything like that. It's just overall, I think Flacky can be good. I think I've heard a lot of praise from people that say Flacky's underrated, especially in Draft League. So hopefully we can have some fun with it and try to use it. Sorry if I spaced off there for a second. I don't know why I did. I guess I'm just getting really tired. So let's try to finish this video up soon. I understood Spirit here, our Rapidash, and Rapidash just came back from our APA Championship run, and it's coming back here. I think having that fire immunity is really good. Having the access to Flame Body is also really good. I think a somewhat decent defensive fire type can actually be a bit of a good problem. Very hard thing for us to understand or say. But overall, I think that Rapidash provides a lot for the team with that fire immunity and flash fire, and just overall another more speedy mon and physical mon that we really wanted. So with my tier 5 Pokemon and going for the tier 5 Z Captain, we chose Graplock, aka Octagon. And I named it Octagon because in MMA they use an 8-sided ring, octagon shaped type of ring. So that's really how I think he's a fighting type in Octagon. So Graplock is a Pokemon that I think a lot of people just do not like, just because of how slow he is. Just how he's not really that good. Like he's got some decent coverage moves. Like he's got Body Slam, Repair. He's got Bulk Up. He's got Close Combat, Drain Punch. He's got access to some of the special moves. He's got access to Liquidation, which is really good. Ice Punch, which is relatively good. It's got decent ground coverage now with Stomping Tantrum. It's got access to Superpower. It's got the access to Dark type moves, is really good. So overall, I felt like Graplock was the Pokemon to use just because of the fact that Graplock provides a little more offense that I really want for my team versus the defense, because I think I have some decent defensive mons that can kind of check that for us. But yeah, I'm super excited to try it. Again, it's my tier 5 Z Captain mon, so definitely something to know with that. And with our last pick, I needed one more tier 4 Pokemon. I decided to grab Claydol. It needs me that ground type. It gives me a Stealth Rocker. It gives me a second spinner. So now I have 2 spinners on my side of the field. So hazards are a little less concerning. Also, with having Claydol here, Claydol sets up Trick Room, which can be relatively good for things like my Octagon here. But ultimately, I think Claydol fits this team relatively decent. It's a no Psycho type. I think I should have maybe had one with Teddiursa, but I don't know what else would have been a thing in there. But regardless, I'm really excited for this team, guys. I'm going to go ahead and go to bed. I'm going to let you guys go to bed. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you haven't already. Subscribe if you are new. Join the Fishhawk crew today because you'll be friendly with the King of the Crew. And with that being said, I will see you guys for week 1 of the Miners Master Draft week 1 team builder. Peace.